What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Call Her Creator powered by Stan. I am your host, Caitlin Rhodes, and today we are going to be talking about ChatGPT. I don't talk about ChatGPT enough, and it's truly streamlined my workload. It's helped me make better content for my Instagram page, for my whole social media presence, truly. So what we're going to talk about today is ChatGPT prompts specifically for creating viral worthy content over on your Instagram page that will help you grow. So I'm really excited about that. Before we get into it, please download this episode if this is your first time listening. I'd love for you to become a Call Her Creator fan. This is how we measure if the podcast is doing well. So I just need your help there. Download the episode. Let me know what you think. Leave me a review if you actually end up loving the content. I know that I do. So before we get into the actual content for today, let's just talk about Instagram for a little bit. I've been on Threads lately. And there's a lot of people over on Threads complaining about Instagram. And I get it because I've been complaining about Instagram too. Reach has been hard over on Instagram. Engagement, I don't know. So like the past 30 days, it was really, really bad. Probably the past 60 days. But the last 2 weeks, I'm starting to get my views back up, though my content has changed a little bit, and I'll talk about that. But I don't know if maybe things are shifting, or if because I changed my content, things are looking better for me, or if maybe the algorithm is starting to look better. So if you're listening, I'd love for you to tell me if you have seen any positive change in the algorithm as far as your views go, your engagement, growth. My growth is still kind of stuck in the same spot. I used to be growing like 100,000 followers, not 100,000, no, 1,000, at least 1,000 followers like weekly. And for the past 60 days, I have stayed at 171,000 followers. In fact, I was 172,000 followers and now I'm back down to 171. Don't understand it. I'm still putting out the value there, but I don't know. My follower growth is not growing. But what is happening is I've seen my views increase on my reels. Now, what have I changed? I was focusing on funny, share-worthy content for a while just because it was getting pretty good views, but it wasn't exactly helping my growth. So I just started kind of playing around with longer reels. And the reason I did that is because I read on the viral playbook from Meta. If you haven't listened to that episode, it's a couple episodes back, but they had said something about creating 30-second reels because it holds people there on your reel longer, which will increase your watch time. So I started testing that because in the past that hasn't ever really worked for me. I've always been a short form girly, but I started doing 30 seconds, 32 seconds, and they're not performing terribly. So I've started adding back my podcast snippets into my regularly posted reels on my page. And I don't know, they're doing really good. So I guess what I'm trying to encourage you guys to do is maybe if you've never tried a talking head video where you talk and you truly just give off value from your expertise, maybe try adding that into your content this week. Again, I've seen pretty good numbers. If I look over at Instagram, let me pull it up real quick. I think I was seeing like in the past when I did 30-second videos, I'd get 1,500 views. The last one I did, 3,500. The other one got 9,800, 7,400. 7,800, 5,800. So that's way better than what it used to be when I posted long form content. If you need some examples on that, go ahead and head over to the Caitlin Rhodes on Instagram. Now, keep in mind, it's not just a talking head. I have editing in there. I use sound effects. I use InShot to edit my long form video. So you'll see things like pop up. There'll be different sound effects. And this is all to help keep people watching. So just what I'm trying to say, I guess, is don't just try to do a talking head video and it bomb and then you be like, Caitlin was wrong. You have to actually make it interesting. You have to be moving in the first 3 to 5 seconds or hooking them in. There's 3 important hooks that you should be paying close attention to whenever you record a reel. The first one is going to be your text hook. That's going to be the text overlay on your video that hooks them in. The second one's going to be the video hook. You need to be doing something in the video that hooks them in, tying your shoe, walking in through a door, sipping coffee, putting on lip gloss. And then the third hook is actually in your caption right right there on the bottom, how you pull people in with that caption that gets them to click to read more, that is your third hook. If you have all three of those hooks, your video more than likely is going to perform better versus you just focusing on one hook. So that's my tip for you guys when it comes to longer form video, focusing on those three different hooks. All right, that's my spiel as far as content goes right now over on Instagram. I'd love your feedback, guys. Again, if you decide to test out a long form video, try it. Let me know how it goes. Send me a DM either over on Call Her Creator or the Caitlin Rhodes. I'd love to talk about that stuff. And if you have any questions, please leave those for me too, because I do want to do a Q&A episode in the near future, and I'd love to get your feedback on what I could be answering. Okay, so let's get into ChatGPT. I have been using it a lot lately. I'm not just using it for marketing anymore. I'm using it for like my day to day. Like, for example, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of sorry boys, if you're listening, this is a girl talk real quick, but the cycle syncing whenever you're creating content. I thought that was really interesting. So I went over to ChatGPT and I kind of started asking about that. And ChatGPT will give you specific tips to record content when you are or on your period. And I thought that was really, really cool. So for women out there, you can always ask ChatGPT about that. I'm really sorry. I know that's a little TMI, but I want you ladies to take advantage of ChatGPT further than just your marketing. And then I also was having a little sad girly weekend, and I asked ChatGPT how I could feel better about myself, things I could do to increase my energy levels, my spirit, and it gave me some really good feedback. So don't knock ChatGPT for personal reasons as well. It's great for your marketing, it's great for Instagram, but it's also really great personally. So I highly suggest checking that out. Now let's get into these ChatGPT prompts I have for you guys to make better content. This is really going to help you make content that's going to boost your growth over on Instagram. I've got 7 different prompts for you guys to try out. So highly suggest trying all of these that you can. So the first ChatGPT prompt that we have is content inspiration for your reels. So this one, write this down. It says, give me 5 viral worthy Instagram reels ideas that will appeal to, and then in parentheses, describe your target audience, focusing on specific topics, include trendy audio and transition suggestions. So not only are you asking ChatGPT for 5 different reel ideas, but you're also describing who your target audience is to them. You're focusing on a specific topic or theme, and then you're asking them to include the trendy audio and transition suggestions. So you got to understand, the more context that you give to ChatGPT, the better output it will give to you. Now, keep in mind, when you're asking for trendy audio, ChatGPT isn't always super relevant to the times. So the audio suggestions that they give you might be a little bit older. So you could always switch those out, but you could at least take the 5 viral worthy Instagram reels ideas that they give you there. So that is a content inspiration prompt for reels. The next one that I have for you guys is engagement boosting questions for your caption. So in case you missed, a couple episodes ago, I talked about increasing your engagement. And one of those tips is to focus on your call to actions. We underestimate how important call to actions are and what they can do for people commenting on your content. So this one says, generate 10 engaging questions I can ask in my Instagram captions to spark conversation and boost engagement from my audience who is interested in topic. So you have to give them the topic that they're interested in. This is going to help you get more engagement back on your post because you're going to be asking for something specific. You're going to be leaning into those calls to action. And again, that's how people know what to do next when you post content. A biggest mistake I see people making on their content is they create a really good reel or post and a really great caption, but then at the end, they kind of leave us hanging and then people don't know what to do next. So I do pay close attention to the CTAs that I am using in my content and make them easy CTAs. Don't make it really hard because people are lazy and they will keep scrolling through. The next prompt is for carousel post ideas. Now, this is a little trick here. I read over on one of those social media blogs said when you're posting carousels right now, try adding trending audio to that because it can then pop up over on the Reels tab. So if you are experimenting with carousel posts, go ahead and add that trending audio and just see how it works for you. We've been testing this out over on the influence page. But this prompt is suggest 5 carousel post ideas that will help me provide value, establish authority in your niche, keeping my audience interested and encouraging them to swipe through each slide. So you notice that it's telling you to be very specific with your niche. And then it's talking about providing value and establishing authority. We don't want any generic content out there that people can just go find over on Google. This is very specific to your niche and something that they might not already know. That's what's going to make you stand out as the authority figure in your industry. The next prompt I have for you guys is for Instagram story posts. So this one says, give me 5 Instagram story ideas that will get my audience to interact with polls, quizzes, or questions with a focus on the goal that you want. Like maybe you want to generate excitement, maybe you want to launch a product, maybe you want to warm up leads. So you have to be specific about your goal, what your goal is. But what I love about this prompt is that they are including the engagement stickers, and those work really, really well on Instagram stories. The poll sticker typically works the best because it's super easy to just click one or the other. The question sticker can be a little bit harder for people to engage with just because they have to use their brain a little bit more. So if this is your first time using the engagement stickers over on Instagram stories, then maybe you want to start with the poll sticker. The next prompt I have for you guys is related to user-generated content, which don't sleep on user-generated content. It really helps you interact and connect with your audience, and it works really well over on Instagram specifically. But what you can type into ChatGPT is suggest 3 creative ways that I can encourage my followers to share user-generated content related to your business or product that you sell, and how I can showcase that content to grow my account. So what this is doing is this is giving you a prompt where you can type out to get people to share their content with you. So it's basically getting you to ask people for their user-generated content, because I think that's probably the toughest part of posting user-generated content is where you're going to get it. How are you going to get it? So this is the easiest way for you to get it. The 6th prompt I have for you guys is your hashtag strategy. Don't sleep on hashtags. Still using them over here. Use about 3 to 5 in every post. It's not going to help you go viral, but it will help you get discovered if people are searching for those specific hashtags. So this one says, provide a list of 20 targeted hashtags I can use to reach a larger audience in your specific niche or industry to attract potential followers interested in your product or your service. Love this one. I'm actually going to be giving all of these ChatGPT prompts to my girls at Influence Marketing Studio because I think these are all very good, very specific prompts. And we could type these in for each different client that we have. And I think we'd get some really good content ideas from these prompts. They're really, really good. I'm really surprised at some of these because sometimes ChatGPT will give you very generic advice, but these are very specific prompts for you. The last ChatGPT prompt I have for you guys involves Instagram Lives. Now, if you have been sleeping on Instagram Lives, they are still a really great way to nurture your audience, connect with your audience, get in front of them, brand awareness. So I do suggest popping on Instagram Lives every now and then. I used to try to do them weekly, but since my business has grown, since I've grown as a content creator, I can't do it as much as I like to. But if you have the time, I really suggest popping on Instagram Lives. This prompt says, help me create a month-long IG Live content plan where I provide value, educate my audience, and increase follower growth in the specific niche. Include engaging topics and tips on how to promote each live. Love this. I love that this is giving you a 30-day content plan. Again, I told you guys I used to pop on there every week. So this sounds like it would probably be like a weekly content plan for your Instagram Lives. Do it for 30 days. Talk about your product, talk about your service, talk about the ways that you benefit people. And I can guarantee you will end up selling something on Instagram Lives. This is how I used to sell out my digital products and how I used to sell out my coaching sessions when I used to offer those. So all of these prompts should be able to help you create high quality content for your Instagram that will then help you grow your account. All right, that's all I have for you guys today on the ChatGPT prompts for Instagram growth. If you loved this episode, please go leave me a review over on Call Her Creator. We're on Spotify, we're on Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to podcasts. I'd love to hear from you guys, and I will see you guys next week. Thank you.